It seems like we actually don't have to wait that long until we get a new Travis record, because he just confirmed that Jackboys 2 is coming. So today we're going to take a look at this and also mainly discuss how this would fit into a release schedule if he decides to drop this between Utopia and the next solo album. So let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and it recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So I literally just dropped a video yesterday talking about how Travis Scott might be readying the album that's coming after Utopia a lot sooner than it was between Astroworld and Utopia, which was basically 5 years. And in that video, I went over the snippets that we had, or that he himself played for us at his AP launch event in New York, of Cinderella or Family Forever Now, and another song that we don't have a title for yet. Sheck Wes also did some stuff there. So it seems like all of them were working on new music. And in that video, I concluded we might not have to wait until the next album as long as we had to wait from Astroworld to Utopia, which was 5 years, as I just said. But I forgot one thing, because in between Astroworld and Utopia, we had an album, obviously. The end of 2019, so not even like halfway through, but kind of like in the middle of between Astroworld and Utopia, we had Jackboys, the Cactus Jack, collective, the Cactus Jack label project, obviously featuring people like, in that case, Sheck Wes on there, Don Toliver. We had a couple of other features. Now I guess so Fagor would play a role, but we'll get into him in a second a little bit more. And so that album came out. I neglected that yesterday because it wasn't a solo Travis Scott record, but the tables have turned now. Travis just confirmed that Jackboys 2 is actually in the works. So obviously he's on tour right now, and a fan stopped him while he was, I believe, still in New York, but correct me if I'm wrong. But the fan asked him, "Yo, Travis, I love you," all of that, asking for autographs and signing everything. And then he asked, "Is Jackboys 2 in the works?" And Travis said, "For sure." Now, obviously, we just take this one clip of Travis saying, "for sure," and people are all, putting this into this perspective. Oh my God, Jackboys 2 is coming. It's coming next month, whatever. That's not what that means. Travis just dropped this year. I don't think it'll be until late next year that we'll actually get Jackboys 2. Let me put that into perspective right away, because I don't want to, have any false expectations on this. Because if you take a look at 2018, 2019, Astroworld dropped in the summer of 2018, and Jackboys dropped in very late. I think it was late December, might have been even like around New Year's, in between Christmas and New Year's, that Jackboys dropped. So 1.5 years later. So I don't think that this new Jackboys will drop any sooner than that. What's so interesting is that nobody was ever talking that actively about Jackboys 2 again. The first one was a success. We had a couple of songs on there that really went big and that I also really liked, but it was always just that little project that the Cactus Jack crew did. But obviously, in the meantime, the Cactus Jack crew has also established themselves as even more established, proliferate artists in the industry, also adding people like Fagor, who we're all expecting to blow even more than he is right now, but who doesn't quite seem to get to that next stage. But I could make an entire video about him. But that was the first thing that I saw when I saw this announcement, people saying we need Fagor on this. We need Travis to give Fagor another platform again so that he can shine, because he didn't get that on Utopia. A lot of fans were hoping that Fagor would get a platform on Utopia. I'm also sad that he didn't, but a Jackboys record could be the perfect way to do this. So that is the one purpose that I could see for this Jackboys record, new 2 record in this case, to give Fagor a platform. Also, what's a very good sign is that Sheck Wes also performed new snippets at the AP event, which means that maybe he was already hinting at something from the entire label coming all together. And the second purpose that I could see for this record is to bridge the gap in between Utopia and the next Travis Scott solo record, kind of like it did for the first two records, so I mean like Astroworld to Utopia. Because if Travis decides to wait another couple of years, even though I could really see 2025, let me just say that, I could see that as a year for a new Travis Scott record to drop, just realistically, because also he's not getting any younger, he's in his 30s now, and for him to wait another 5 years to drop, and then after that another 5 years, I mean, you can see it how you want it, but I would just think that from a perspective of him wanting to drop the best quality music while he's still relevant and while he's still kind of like a culture maker, if that makes any sense, or someone who creates culture, then I think that would be the best way to do it. So adding on to that, I think that in between we could get a Jackboys 2 record to bridge the gap. And also, I mean, we saw him say that he makes music before every show, but that doesn't mean music for the solo record. That could also refer to him making music for a Jackboys record. And so I think that we should all take this with a huge grain of salt when he says for sure it's coming, because that is honestly even less than we get from some artists who then are also very vague about it. So it's like the least concrete and solid answer that we got from him, because of just for sure it's coming is just the most, it doesn't mean anything in the music industry. So take all those headlines you're seeing with a grain of salt, but it adds some layers to the stuff that I said in yesterday's video about this being a good sign that Travis is not retreating from the spotlight after dropping the album, after finishing the tour. Still in the midst of it, I know, but after kind of like getting to the later leg of the tour. And it doesn't mean he's just like being mysterious all again and only appearing for some brand deals or whatever like we just saw with the AP. This means that he's actively making music. He wants to put out music. We know that he's also working on new music and showing it to us, like we saw with the snippets. That is also a pretty good sign, because that means he wants to get the responses from the fans, see how they're feeling about certain snippets. That's usually how that works when artists drop snippets. They want to see the responses. They want to also create some hype. But in this case, I don't even think it's about the hype, because the last album is out. He's on tour right now. There's no need to create hype for new music. It's more so just to get the reaction and get the responses directly from the fans to hear what they want to hear, and then kind of adjust it going from there. I think that's usually what artists are trying to do with snippets. At least in some special cases they're not, but at least in most cases they are. And so him saying Jackboys 2 is coming is a pretty good sign, and I think it'll serve exactly those two purposes and those two functions that I just laid out. First, give artists like Sofego a platform, maybe also push Sheck West a little bit more, maybe even on Tolliver, because we haven't heard from him in a little bit. And also, second, it could mean that this could bridge the gap between Utopia and the next Travis Scott solo record, which I would love, because yeah, I like when artists do like little things to bridge gaps. It's just like not like a Kendrick Lamar who's just gone for 8 years or whatever. And let me know what y'all think about this though. What do you think about this teaser, this announcement of Travis Scott saying for sure it's coming? I don't think much of it, to be honest with you, but I saw a lot of people talk about this, so I thought I wanted to give my take on this and kind of organize it in the release schedule, how it could work. Let me know when you think it'll actually drop and if it'll fulfill the two functions that I laid out today. So all your thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.